What up, what up, what up? The blockchain baller here, aka Jedi Marketer, and we're gonna be doing some more crypto talk here, maybe a little bit of Bitcoin analysis. Well, you know, from the knowledge that I have. I'm gonna show you guys my favorite coin that I like to trade and one that I will be investing in, or I am invested in. And talking about a bit of crypto news, some things that potentially are going to be, you know, securing where crypto is going. And I'll give you guys some ICO tips, some tips on, like, you know, how to find winners, basically winners that are going to, you know, produce, I think, high returns. That this is the knowledge that I use when I look for these coins. So I'll share that stuff with you guys for free. I'm not a professional investor. I don't take people's money. I don't give them advice or anything like that. I just basically share my knowledge. What you guys do with it, that's kind of completely up to you. But rest assured, there is no sneaky underlying, you know, I don't have an agenda. Basically, I just love crypto, right? And so with crypto, I like to share knowledge and stuff. If you guys have been with me for a while on this channel, you guys know that I just like to do reviews. I like to share information. I like to use YouTube for what it is, and that's just information sharing. And I want to thank you guys for you know, watching my videos and commenting and liking them. My channel has jumped up, you know, a great deal of subscribers in a very short period of time, and I can see this channel growing, going up to, you know, 6 figures, up to 100,000 range. But you know, I really need you guys' help. I need you guys to engage with me, comment on my videos, share whatever stuff that you have, that, you know, just don't spam the videos with your links and stuff like that to plug yourself. You know, help engage with me and build this channel. I'll be revealing more content, and as I get better at cryptocurrency, and I will, and I am, you know, the information that I share that I'm doing, the things that I am doing, it's only going to benefit you in the long run, because you know, I'll be sharing my knowledge, my wisdom as well. So let's move on here. Bitcoin, where are we going? So we're on the 1-day chart here. As you guys seen my other video, I was talking about how Bitcoin, we could possibly see in a huge breakout, but it's going to fulfill its prophecy. Now, the prophecy that I talk about is the patterns, the way that the coin moves. So Bitcoin, much like, you know, without these companies being so great, Bitcoin moves because of the traders. The traders dictate and amplify whether or not these things are gonna go up or whether these things are gonna go down. And the sad part about the industry, which is also a benefit, is that there's a lot of shorters, people who short trades, a lot of people who pump it, a lot of people who try to manipulate the market for personal gains. And that's, you know, when you have like hundreds of millions of dollars being pumped into cryptocurrency, there's a lot of investment firms, people who do hedge funding and stuff like that, who understand, like, so we have a lot of Forex traders and different types of stock traders and stuff coming to the market, and the transition and patterns are basically the same. So how the market moves is basically the same. So they're manipulating the market to where it's going to fulfill its prophecy. And as you can see right here, we're on a live chart right now. We got 3 rising peaks, an ascending, a triangle as well forming here. And you can see with the triangle forming, let me show you guys something here. Okay. So we have the triangle forming right here. And with the triangle forming, it means less room right here, right? So with less room for it to having to rise, so it's probably gonna go like probably around here. And I think with it hitting up around, you know, between 7,500 to 7,200, or maybe even lower, right? Because if we do it properly, yeah, around there. So it's going, I believe we're going to hit another low right here. This is what I believe, right? So I think it's going to go around $5,700, $5,800, and then I think that's the bottom. I think from that point forward, we're gonna start forming and start going into a bullish pattern, pattern of what do we call that? A bit like if you see it, there's a cup being formed here, right? So with the cup, it's gonna start ascending up, right? An ascending scalp, and you're gonna be seeing a lot of rising peaks going up, up, up. So there's gonna be a lot of rise, falls, rise, falls, rise, falls. There's gonna be some heavy pumps. And if you look at the way it's past history, let me close this off here. Oops. Give me a sec here. So if we look at its history, it's the exact same thing. The difference between this rise, you know, and the other side over here is that we're gonna see some rising peaks, but at a certain point we might see some of this where it's just straight green, right? So that's gonna be some heavy profits for a lot of different people. But you gotta expect the worst before you expect the best. I mean, it's just the nature of cryptocurrency, and what I'm learning is that no one really knows. No one really knows. We're only sharing prophesized patterns, and so there is a prophecy too, but the prophecy could change, right? And so when the market starts to stabilize, the companies can start pumping their coins. Investors, heavy investors, you know, really high quality companies like blockchain specifically, they bring in a lot of institutional investors inside of the altcoin, and a lot of institutional investors will be coming in to Bitcoin, but they're looking for a stabilized period, and we're getting to a point where it's going to stabilize and then it's going to start ascending up. But I believe we have one more dive before it starts forming a bottom right around here, and then we can start seeing it rising up, and we can start seeing the bullish patterns fulfill, and then a lot of people make a lot of money. So I mean, this is just what I believe, right? I don't, you know, it could change it, but you know, I predicted this right here. Let me show you guys here, one sec. Let me go to Facebook. I'm gonna show you guys that I actually predicted that that bull run there, that mini bull run in my cryptocurrency group. Right here. Okay, so August 21st at 4:09 p.m. I posted this image, right? So I predicted that it's going to start forming another peak. It could go up or it can crash, right? And usually that comes to a point where, okay, are the bears or are the bulls going to take over? So I'm not saying like, you know, I'm some oracle, but I did predict that. So what time that was at? What time was that at? Yeah, okay. So 4:09 p.m. I posted that image. When did this start running? This started happening at, where is it? Oh, it doesn't show the time here. I can't see it. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. But the bull run started happening around 6 or 7 o'clock. So about 3 hours prior, I kind of predicted that. And you know, I'm not saying I am an oracle, but I just reading the patterns and learning more about cryptocurrency, I'm realizing that you can kind of predict what's going to happen based on previous history, right? And so the market moves pretty much the same with every trading currency or anything that's on the market, basically in general, right? And that's because the traders who basically dictate everything, they're the ones who basically fulfill this prophecy that we see that's going to happen with cryptocurrency, right? With that said, yeah, so we're going to see another peak here fulfill, unless some really bad news, FUD comes, and people buy into the FUD, you know, then there's a good chance that we could see somebody trying to manipulate the market to push it down even more, right? But that's an expensive, that's really expensive to do something like that. So, you know, there's a chance that they could lose a lot of money, because when you gamble with these types of things to try and manipulate markets, you're gambling with a lot of money, right? But here, let's talk about my favorite coin. My favorite coin to trade is Vechain Thor, and that's because it's just one of the best projects out there. I see Vechain Thor becoming a household name in the cryptocurrency industry. The technology, the people behind it, it's just one of the best companies online today. And I can see it doing some real damage in the industry, taking on a lot of institutional investors. It has so much utility and people coming on board that it's just going to expand. People are going to be building off their blockchain. And the market relatively moves the same all the time, so it's easy to predict. And as you can see right here, we are diving right now at 5:58. I woke up this morning, and I woke up like right when it was around right here, and I was like, oh, should I buy? Because I noticed something here, right? There's a bullish pattern being formed. And what I was learning about Bitcoin, let's go to the 3 minute. No, not the 3 minutes. I think it's the 1 minute. Not even the 1 minute, is it? It's 5 minutes. Okay. What I was seeing about Bitcoin is that it was also in a bullish pattern as well. So there's going to be a little bit of a pump. And the pump, and it also it's pumping, but it's stabilizing as well. So this little stabilized period right here gave room for this coin to pump itself. So it actually, stabilization, when I was saying about stabilization, it gives time for companies to do their own marketing, to do their own pumping, to do their, you know, the companies actually has a lot of money, so they're trading their own coin as well, and they're also pumping it. You know, I'm only speculating, but it just would make sense, right? So they pumped it themselves, and yeah, that is the effect of what happened right there. They pushed it all the way up to 1578, and so, you know, I missed out on a bit of a little bull run there, but you know, that's just the nature of cryptocurrency trading, right? So this is my favorite coin to trade, a company you should, you know, do some research on, see whether or not this is something you want to be a long-term hodler of, because right now it's only at 1.5 cents. This is like the time that, you know, when you find a company that can pump extremely high and give massive returns and change people's lives. So I see Vechain as that. You know, XRP took a while, but eventually, boom, you know, we got people are getting 30,000 times gains from it, right? Pumped all the way up to $1, I think it was $1.80, $1.90. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Made a lot of millionaires during that run, if they sold. A lot of people didn't sell. And so yeah, that's basically my favorite coin. Also, if you haven't traded or anything like that, make sure you guys check out Binance. You can sign up through my link. I earn a little bit of a commission from your trading, so, you know, hook me up. So let's go into some news now. CNBC analyst Brian Kelly says Bitcoin ETF approval will likely be February 2019. So one of the things that I'm learning about these ETFs is that they could change the game, right? The game could change because of that, and it can, once an ETF approval moves into The green, where it's like, okay, yeah, we approve this. It's going to change the whole cryptocurrency game, because now we're legitimizing it more and more and more and more. And once that news hits, a lot of companies are going to be paying marketing to expose that news. And that big, huge bull run we had here, let's go back to the one day. This right here was created by news. This was all news. And then the bad news, because people realized that there's a lot of FUD and stuff created, and then we just started descending. Boom, 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 right? So this is a very big thing. More people are going to be hearing about it, more outlets, and we're going to be hearing more news about whether it's legit or not. The Google searches are going to increase a huge amount as well. So this is good stuff for us. Do I think it's going to get approved this year? I don't think so. But one of the good things about that is that it gives time for the market to stabilize. And one of the cool things is that there is actually some negative news coming out. When with the SEC and all these places are denying these ETFs, it actually hasn't done nothing to the market, which is great. So we're starting to move into a phase where people are just not, they understand the news is fake. A lot of fake news out there. So don't believe everything that you see or hear when it comes to these news and media outlets, because a lot of them are just paid marketing advertisings or whales paying these websites to publish these articles, which are not necessarily true, right? So yeah, look towards that. I mean, but it can happen anytime, right? And now we're looking at more institutional investors like Bank of America, who I think is a bunch of hypocrites, because they deny a lot of people access to buy crypto. So a lot of people were getting their Bank of America accounts banned for trying to buy crypto on Coinbase. So this is good. This is kind of moving towards more institutional investors and people and these corporations and these banks saying, okay, you know what, maybe it isn't a scam. Maybe it's legit. Maybe the technology is really powerful that it can change the way we bank. And I think that is really good. Bank of America applies for blockchain-based encrypted crypto storage system patent. So they actually have a lot of patents, apparently. A lot of patents. And so what I see, because they have a lot of these different patents, I can see them transitioning over to cryptocurrency, maybe even creating their own utility currency for the purpose of transfers, online transfers, because it's a whole new market, right? It's basically, okay, we have all this tangible tether, this tangible money. Maybe we should start dipping into cryptocurrency, right? And the two things that are going to happen when this happens with the huge transition to cryptocurrency is the market, money is gonna crash, but cryptocurrency is gonna go to the moon, because they're gonna be transitioning over to the technology and to the cryptocurrency. And this is what Ripple is trying to do. Ripple is trying to become such a useful utility, and they're ahead of the game right now, that a lot of these banks are going to be using them for transactions, overseas transactions and stuff. So this is really good for the market. I mean, the market it's good. We went through a really tough period of downtrending, and these patterns that are taking a lot of institutional money out of cryptocurrency. But it's going to be going back in, because a lot of these companies and corporations and institutions are realizing two things. These patterns always happen, all right? And so we're now, it's turning it into a bear market, but we're going to be going into a bullish market for maybe 1 or 2 months. And that's going to see some strong pushes pushing that money up. Now this happened, let me see here, November 13th to a high of 1940. To November, so about a month of straight pumping, and I think we saw about let let me see here. Let's go to 216. So we got upwards of around 600, I think. Yeah, the market cap was at about 600 billion, maybe 700 billion, I think. No, we got up, I think we got it close to 800 billion at one point. So, but all that money got taken out, right? And that's because, okay, there's a huge bear market happening right here, right? So, yeah, I see a lot of since the market's going to be changing, and we're going to start seeing rises after we fulfill the rest of this prophecy, maybe hit around 5,900, I think, after this mount completes, and then we're going to dip down, then we're going to form a bottom, and then we're going to start rising again, and then fill this huge bowl that's, you know, forming right here. Cup, you know, people like to call it a cup too, right? So yeah, Bank of America coming in, Brian, CNBC analyst talking about ETFs, and the US border, Customs and Border, is going to be testing out some blockchain shipment tracking systems. More on legitimacy. So I think the reason why I'm sharing this specific is because this is legitimizing the technology even more, right? U.S. Customs and Border Protection to test blockchain shipment tracking system. And it's going to also, obviously, it's going to counter, you know, illegal stuff being shipped back and forth, because it's going to keep where the shipment's tracked. And a lot of what they're doing now is everything's tracked by papers, filing systems. So we're going to be moving the blockchain to remove that. It's going to do two things. It's going to have data easily accessible, whereas, you know, you don't have to dig in filing cabinets and stuff like that. And it opens up the, you know, okay, we can now track, and it legitimizes, you know, whether or not people are doing illegal things with shipments and stuff like that. And, you know, when we have these major institutions like U.S. Customs and things like this taking the technology and making it their own, it's just it's the transition of a foundation to build cryptocurrency, make it stronger. And so cryptocurrency is going to be around for a while, right? So this is really good. We need more of this. We need a lot of this. So cryptocurrency, I believe, is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. But you need to find your position. You need to find that winner. You need to find that one thing that's going to change your life. And I mean, you have your pick basically of what you want to invest in. Sorry guys, there's a camera cut out there. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, don't be an ignorant hodler, okay? Know when to pull your profits out. Know when to move your coins over to Tether when the market's about to crash. That's why it pays to learn about these things right here. It pays to learn about what's going to happen, right? If it does once we go into bullish patterns, then we can start predicting saving our profits, right? Imagine if all of these people knew these types of, all these people knew that when this was happening, right? When all this was happening. Instead, they were like, I'm gonna hodl, I'm gonna hodl. And then you had all these idiots saying, hodl, hodl, hodl. But, you know, we're going into 7 months of, you know, straight hodling, and people lost a lot of profits. And then we're back at square one, where we were when we were around here, all right? When cryptocurrency was starting to take more massive momentum. So make sure you subscribe, comment, like, share the video, please. And let me know your thoughts below in the comment section. Please don't spam them. You know, I try to keep the comments as clean as possible. And, you know, I really appreciate everybody who follows me. And I'm going to be providing you guys with more of my opinion. All right, peace.